All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Grade School Media. Like I explained in every video, Grade School Media is basically we students of the game, and so all the stuff that we might watch on TV, especially from the East Coast, all the stuff we watch on TV in the '90s, from Nickelodeon, Disney, etc., UPN, all that. We just pretty much we students of the game, so we uncovering nostalgic content. So today I got a special guest, Tequan. What's good with you, man?
What's going on, brother? How
Hey,
you feeling?
man. Before we get started, though, it's funny because, like I said, I was doing research on you, and we have the same exact birthday.
Same birthday, same year.
October 30th, 1992, Scorpio teens, But I want to jump right into it because everybody know you from your role. Everybody hates Chris, but we're going to kind of get everything. So let's talk about your childhood and growing up because we just figured out that we kind of got the same roots.
Hey, we can't be no much further than maybe like 30, 45 minutes from each other. Maybe that.
Yeah.
About an hour.
But tell you, for the people that don't know, tell them where you like born and raised and kind of how you moved around as a child.
I was born in Hall River, actually. I was born in Burlington, but
Okay.
I used to live in Hall River. And if anybody knows North Carolina, it's where you go down that street so you can't go no more. And it's nothing but dirt roads down there.
Yeah.
I grew up in North Carolina until I was about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah.
Okay. So
that was pretty much my stomping grounds, man.
What do you remember from? Because 7, 8 years old, you could pretty much remember.
Oh yeah,
a little
we
bit.
was
What
outside.
was life like?
We was outside.
Yeah.
We was out there. We was barefoot in the creek, catching
Yeah.
crawfish, dissecting animals, chasing chickens, playing basketball on the when they had like the little he had the little crate. You know
the crate instead of the rim. Yeah, that's North Carolina.
Was going crazy like that.
So you until 7 or 8 years old, and I'm from North Carolina, and I didn't get here till I was 20 something. But when did you start moving around and becoming an actor? Because where we from, it ain't. We ain't making it like that. It ain't actors like that. It ain't rappers. None of that. So tell me about it.
All right. So my mother, she always wanted to be an actress, and one day she just got in her car in 1999 and she drove out there all by herself, and she started pursuing her dream, and she left me back with my grandmother, and so for 2 years I stayed with my grandmother in North Carolina still. She took care of me. And one day she just called out like, "Yo, let's go." And I was like, "Hell no, I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay home. I'm already acclimated where I'm at right now." So yeah, she called for me, and she came back to get me, and I ended up in LA. And she was already acting at that point. She had an agent, Nancy Chavez, rest in peace. And she was like, first of all, I love the movie The Temptations.
Okay.
That's like one of my favorite movies. I used to watch it every day.
Okay.
No cap. Like every day.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I was to ask you that why.
I don't know
what was
why.
the influence?
But I just love that movie so much. And so I sang Just My Imaginations by The Temptations to her agent. Her agent was like, "We'll take him as soon as you get him out here."
Okay.
He's got an agent.
Natural talent.
I wouldn't call it that. She was just like, at least he's not scared.
About what age was that? Because that was going to be my next question. What age did you really get into acting?
9 years old.
Okay. So at 9 years old, what was the first thing you did? What was the first acting gig you did at 9 years old? Because I have your list of stuff, but see if you remember what.
I did a bunch of spec commercials first. And then I think the first real job I got when George Clooney was on ER.
Okay, well, let's rewind because some people, again, this grade school media. What's a spec commercial?
Spec commercial is kind of just like a draft commercial or something like Adidas. Like if somebody's pitching a commercial to Adidas, they pitch the idea and they would use, me as an actor to be like a demonstration for the commercial.
Okay.
So I did a couple of those. I did a couple of little college short films and stuff like that. But yeah, ER was my first real job.
That was your first major one. Yeah, I was going to get to that. How hands-on was your mom with your acting career? Of course, she was an actress first, but how hands-on was she, like, set life, etc.?
Yeah, it's pretty much hands-on as you can get. My mom ain't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't play about me at all. You know what I'm saying? So, getting me there, dropping off headshots, pulling me to, we used to have about 4 auditions a day. So, I'm checking out of school. I got outfits in the car. I had fresh white ones in the car every time. We just going on a whole mission. You know what I'm saying? So she really thugged it out with me for real.
That's what's up. Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom.
Everybody that I've interviewed so far this season is like Shar Jack. Shout out to Shar Jack. She told me the same thing. Yeah. Like her mom didn't.
Which one's my camera right here?
Any
camera right here?
It don't matter.
Shout out to you, mom. I love you.
So look, before we get to the main show, because you just brought up ER, I want to talk about the gigs you did, like ER, CSI, Cold Case, Strong Medicine. Talk about those type of shows. Those is, as far as me, I've never been an actor, but if I want to be an actor, those are the type of shows that I would want to be on.
Yeah, I pretty much hit all bases. Like I went through. I just went on a streak. So when it came to my first audition, they were like, "Yo, just try it out, see how it goes." Went on my first audition. I booked it. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. I went on probably about 8 or 9 auditions straight, and booked all of them in a row. So I was on they were just like, well, I mean, it's working. And I was like, well, the rent paid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So, and that was through, like, you were getting those gigs through agents?
I was going straight to
is
my
that,
agent.
when I first moved to LA, talk about that too. When I first moved to LA, is that the name of the game for people that want to be actors, actresses? You need an agent to pretty much get a gig?
These days, yeah and no. But I would say, like, yeah, you might want a manager or agent or somebody like that to get you out there.
All right, for sure. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
So how did you land the gig for Everybody Hates Chris? Because this is going to intertwine with the last question that I asked you. How did you land that gig?
Okay, so at the time I was finishing up doing like The Shield and Strong Medicine and Cold Case, and I finished like my 17th national commercial that I was on a kill streak with commercials too. And they had an audition for Everybody Hates Chris, and it was for the role of Chris. So I went down there. It was like lines stretched, wrapped around the building. I'd never been to an audition like this before. It was at least like 200 people there.
Yeah, okay.
So we get in there. I go and see Chris Rock and them. I end up booking it for the role of Chris. They call me back later like, you got it. We're like, cool. All right.
Well, let's pause. No, because I'm. This is a lot of people want to hear this too, and I'm asking this from like the fans' perspective. So when you get the call, yo, we want you on the show. Talk about the process that you had to go through, like auditioning. Like what's happening throughout that process when you auditioning? What are they providing for you that? Oh, okay, like you killed it, now you got the job, or is it kind of like, oh, we seen you before, you got the gig? Like, how does the process work?
As far as that particular audition, usually they do an initial audition and they do a callback.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to the callback for that one.
Okay, nice. So what was set life like? Because I still watch the show to this day. Like, and it seemed like, of course, you the smooth operator, but it's like the whole show itself is just funny. You don't catch certain things every time you watch it, but if you watch it again, you're like, yo, that was, especially like the teacher on the show, like super racist. I was just like, yo, like it's funny. Like, damn, what she just saying? Like, but it's they use it like a dry sense of humor. So what was like the whole experience around the show and like the set life? Man,
it was just like family oriented, really. You had Tashina bringing her daughter there. Everybody's parents hanging around. The hair and makeup. Everybody was real tight. And Terry was. I got to shout out to you, Terry, man. Thank you so much for being the guy you were, man. Real stand up dude. I love working with him.
Shout out Terry Crews.
Terry Crews, yes, sir.
Being that young on a show like that, what age did you start Everybody Hates Chris?
12, 13, maybe 12.
At 12, 13.
11, damn. You're taking me back. A lot of people think the show is still like
being filmed,
like new or something. This is almost 17, maybe longer than that, 18 years ago.
They played it on TV like it's new.
Yeah. So a lot of times when people be like, when did you start? I'm like, I don't know. I know I got picked up in 2005. So we started working around 2005.
Okay. 2005, that's middle school.
Yeah.
So being that young, you 11, 12, 13, you filming the show. The show ran for 4 years.
Yeah.
What was like you as a kid being on set? What was that experience like? Because you're at work, but you're still a kid. So what's the experience like? Going to school?
Doing kid shit, man. We would ride around and steal people's go-karts on the lot. We would go and trash other people's sets. We were just having a weird time because we were trying to have fun within this work environment that wasn't normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't go to school with other kids, so we didn't really have that kind of personality going on. And then whenever we would go to the malls, messing around with Tyler, man, they see Tyler and they see me, they shut them all down. We can't go in there no more. The show at its height was kind of like, looking back on it, it was kind of weird. It was kind of hot at that point.
Yeah. Just to pause for a second. When you see Tyler nowadays on the show, Abbott Elementary, what are you thinking? I'll be like, man, oh, that's what's up. Like,
I'm super proud of it. I haven't peeped the show yet, but I'm just super proud of everything everybody does from that, because it's not like everybody makes it from that point and keeps going from that point, especially him being in the same position as me being a child actor. Like, I'm just glad to see him keep progressing.
So look, the actual character Drew because you playing Chris Rock's little brother on the
Mhm.
show. So what was the process once you booked the role? What was the process building you up as that character? Did you have to sit down with Chris Rock? Did you have to sit down with his family, or was it just like producers or whatever? Like, how did it go?
To keep it 100, that role didn't really even exist.
Okay,
It was never there.
okay, they just
Yeah.
like kind of created it for you.
Yeah. I remember I booked Chris, and then Chris Rock had called me back later. He was like, put him on the phone, put it on speakerphone for everybody. He was like, listen, he was like, I rock with you, but I was never that cool when I was a kid. He told me this verbatim. And
Yeah.
actually, if you look into the DVD, if you cop the DVD set, they explain this whole story in there. It happened on film. But yeah, so he basically switched it over to his brother Tony Rock, which they made Drew Rock.
Okay.
And then I became that character.
When you see the show now, like 31 years old now,
Yeah.
and you sit at home, you might be with your kid or your
Yeah.
family, whatever. What are you thinking? Like the show come on, credits rolling. What are you thinking at this adult age now, seeing the kid version of you on TV?
It's my first time seeing it.
You never seen it?
Nah.
You don't watch yourself on TV? I hear a lot of actors say that. What is there a reason or?
I'm a perfectionist and I critique myself to death, and it doesn't help that I'm on the opposite side of the camera, so like everything I see like times 10, so it's not even fun for me to watch stuff half the time. But a lot of the episodes my first time seeing it. I probably watched the pilot when we had that and a few episodes after that, and then you got to understand we're working on them.
Yeah.
So to work on them and watch them that night, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, I'm talking about like now though. Like
now,
watching them
even now, like I said, it's like my first time ever seeing it. I'm like starting to be like, oh, it was actually decent. Like,
okay,
it was okay. Like,
yeah, I mean, because I think the show is again, if the show is like not trying to be funny. If it sucks, it ain't gonna keep running. How everybody hates Chris is running.
That's
and
a
like,
fact.
I let it play. It's funny to me. But shout out to that show. That's a classic.
I'll be like, do you remember this joke? I'll be like, I have no idea. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna watch the episodes. I got it.
So that show running for 4 years. What do you remember about it ending? Because I know that's like, you doing something for 4 years and it just ending. Do you remember like what happened or?
Yeah, I think Chris just didn't want to go no more, man.
Okay.
He just didn't want to go anymore because at that point he had gotten to comedy, and I think he didn't want to kind of, publicize the fact that, you go into a comedy club and now you'll be rich and famous from this point on. He wanted people to be like, finish school and worry about education.
Okay.
So they can do grade school media.
Yeah, facts though. So after Everybody Hates Chris, you did a number of gigs. You did 187. You did Private Practice, General Hospital.
Yeah.
So when you doing those type of shows, and then of course you already did ER and that stuff in the past, but doing those type of shows and just finishing Everybody Hates Chris, I always ask, what's the set life like? But what's the difference between being on the show for 4 years? You being used to that, and then you go into a show, you might be a guest star, whatever. Like, what's the difference? Or what's the process?
To be honest with you, like doing something for 4 years gives you that kind of confidence where you could just walk in there and you got your own swag. I'm bringing my own swag to your show now. Like, I know some people might be like, oh, I felt like a guest. No, I never felt like that. I was like, I'm bringing my sauce over here and this is what we're doing. And when I landed at General Hospital, I was like, I'm bringing the sauce here. They were like, stay. And I stayed there for 6 years. Man,
because you got an impressive resume. I was doing when I was doing this, I'm like, okay, I'm writing it and I'm asking you these questions in order, but then I'm like, wait, I go back. I'm like, you played Ray Charles Jr. and Ray. Talk about that. Do you remember that role?
Yeah. That's when I was first hanging around Jamie too. That's how we got real tight, man. To this day.
Okay. How old were you with that Ray Charles movie?
You got me on ages, and you got me old as hell.
Now we ain't old. We getting there. We in our prime, bro. We 31. We in our prime. You know what I'm saying?
I would say I was probably 9. For real, yeah.
Okay.
It's probably 9.
That's what's up, man. That was another classic. So look, here's another general question I like to ask. So throughout your career, what's something you've learned, like just being an actor, and you kind of said your mom put you in it, but being an actor from then until now, what have you learned about the business? Good or bad?
I would say don't celebrate every win as hard as you think you should, because it's just so up and down with this industry. Like I don't take any of my wins. When I used to book jobs, my mom used to be worried about me because like I book a big job and I'm like, okay, cool. And I think me taking that attitude all the way through has helped me, like shielded me from being like heartbroken if I didn't get something or disappointed or mad, because I wasn't pressed about it. It was like, and I think also taking that same energy inside my auditions, kind of came off to them. And it was like, I think they were more willing to give me the job than me be like, oh, I really need this job. I was never that way.
Yeah, talk about this too.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and again, outside looking in, for people who are aspiring actors or actresses, especially somebody like you with a resume that you have. Are you, most of your gigs, you have to audition, or you've built your resume enough to where they just like, all right, we want you on this? Like, how does it go for you?
These days, luckily, it goes more like that. Yeah. It depends on what it is. Now, if it's some big movie crazy, then I have to come through an audition like on some Marvel shit.
Talk about this too. What's something that you would like the world to know about you that they may not know? You know, because again, you don't really do interviews like that. We kind of, again, we Scorpio, so we don't really talk to people like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you know that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here talking more than I ever talk in my life during this podcast.
Hey, look,
but
this is what we supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Right. But I would just say that, being a father really changed my life. I would say that was the best thing that happened to me so far.
I believe it.
Out of all these little Emmy nominations, TV shows, blah, 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 whatever you want to do, I think like being a father was the best thing that happened to me so far. Be honest with you.
Here's a question. This is fun. This might be a Scorpio question, but it's an important question that I ask every interviewer when I interview them.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about mistakes. You being in the industry, you being a public figure, people know who you are. Talk about you making a mistake and how you deal with it mentally in your head. Like, damn, I'm, because as an actor or actress, or even me doing radio parties, we kind of like, we building content. We want to be perfectionists.
Yeah.
But also people are watching. So how are you dealing with making a mistake mentally, being the actor?
Are you saying a public mistake or just a mistake in general?
A mistake, period. Just as a human being, because we all humans.
Right. That's how I deal with it. We all humans. I'm not big on anything like that. And I always tell people to take care of their own mental health first. Because if you're not straight, you can't do nothing for nobody else. You are pretty much useless at that point. If your own mental health ain't right, you ain't right, can't nobody else be right. So when it comes to mistakes, if it's heavy on me like that, I duck. You know what I'm saying? I go tuck away somewhere, get your mind right, and come back out when you're ready. No, for real.
Yeah.
Is that some Scorpio shit?
It is.
Because
no, look, and shout out to Marcus Paul. Like, we ain't got to say too much, but he know, like, I just told him, like, when I got to get in my zone, it don't matter who around. Sometimes I just got to get away. Even if I got my own apartment, somebody at my crib, if I got to go book a hotel over here to create my content or whatever, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
So,
I separate myself from everybody just till I get myself together. People be like, damn, why you ghost me like that? It's like, it's not you. It's me.
Sure. And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. What's next for Tequan? What are you working on that you could talk about? Like, movie, show wise?
I just finished up a movie, so that should be coming out at the end of the year.
Okay.
Right now I'm just pushing a lot of this music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did say you do music. Talk about the music. Like, what type of music are you? I haven't heard, and I got to check you out.
Yeah, I rap.
like lyrical, like
I rap.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, we from Carolina, so that's
facts.
what we do.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
Do you have a stage name, or is just?
I've been trying to figure that out, but like really, it's just TR. People call me Richie from my last name. It's whatever you want to call me, but I'm gonna have to get that down sooner or later. But right now, it's just TR.
At this point in your career, what are you more? Are you kind of like mixing everything in together? Are you doing the music, the acting, or just?
I do everything, man. I started doing music back in like 07, maybe. About a little bit before that. And then I learned how to engineer myself. I learned how to put a whole studio together, learn how to record myself, mix myself, do all these kind of things myself. So now I'm just kind of jumping back into that bag and even directing my own videos now, directing my own content. Like, I got tired of reaching out for people or getting results that I was like, I'm such a perfectionist. I'm just not happy with that. I paid for videos and been like, fuck that video.
Yeah, I've done that right here in this studio. My first episode, I'm like, man, I don't like that. Let me scratch that.
Just got to do it over.
Money down the drain.
Money down the facts. I just did it.
Yeah. So talk about this too. So what do you, I know you left North Carolina at 8-9 years old.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back? Do you ever, what talk about just North Carolina as a whole? Because look, again,
we're not about to bad talk our city now.
It's just like, me, I'm from Raleigh. He's from Burlington. So it's like, talk about how, just as a whole, how does it feel to be in the position that you in, knowing where we from, where people don't really make it? Because you look, we got the baby, and that's the first time somebody close-knit made it. J. Cole made it, but he kind of made it from New York. And then we got Petey Pablo. And we got John Wall, the basketball player. We don't got too many people that's like, oh, you from Raleigh, North, or are you from North Carolina?
Yeah.
So talk about, do you analyze it that way? Like, damn, I really made it. I'm from North Carolina.
Hell yeah. Especially coming from where I came from. Like,
Yeah.
I'm at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. Like, there's nobody down there. Nobody goes down there. That's like, it's just crazy to be like, this kid came out of here, and like, I can see how people back home could probably view it now. Like, wow, that's some
A
crazy
lot of people probably
work.
don't even know you from the crib too. That's crazy.
That's crazy. They should. It's
Yeah.
all over the internet.
What about the food? Talk about that, because I'm on the West Coast now too, and
Yeah.
I be like, man, I hate the food out here. Like, compare the food for the East Coast to the West
You
Coast?
like barbecue?
Yeah.
Okay,
come
so
on.
it's Carolina barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not big on barbecue, but
Yeah.
you know, that's what we
Well,
eat.
okay, you said barbecue, so
Yeah.
you know where we from. Barbecue is pork barbecue,
Yes.
but in LA, barbecue is anything with barbecue
Ribs.
sauce on the grill.
Exactly. Nah, they don't. It's different. What about hush puppies?
Yeah,
We don't
depending
got
on where
hush-
they from.
We don't got hush puppies here at all.
They don't have a lot of stuff here, man.
He sounds disappointed.
But nah, man, this is dope, man.
Yeah.
I want to sit down with you. I'm like, yo, he a Scorpio.
Yeah.
You line right up with the content, man. Is there anything else you want the world to know, the people to know? You know, check out your music, whatever.
Man, check out the music. I'm directing now. I'm directing films. I directed 2 music videos so far.
Oh, that's my bad, y'all. So I meant to ask you that too. Most actors, you know, once they get to a certain age, you know, not to put a cap on it, but you know, maybe the gigs might slow down a little bit in our eyes. So when we don't see you on TV, that's what you're doing, producing, directing?
Yeah, I produced one of my other movies, Nowhere, Michigan. I directed a music video for Nipsey Hussle artist. And then I direct my own stuff. And it's not I think some people get it messed up when they be like, oh, I guess he's not getting work no more. Sometimes you'd be surprised at how many actors just don't want to work or don't want to work on that particular project. And sometimes those are the only projects coming through. But if you have some type of standard, sometimes you just be like, oh, I'm good. I'll pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just went in the retirement home for like 3 years or so, like three or 4 years almost. And I was just being a dad. I was happy just doing that. Like,
Yeah.
And I started a trucking company at the same time. So I have my hands in so many different things. It's crazy.
That's what's up.
That's
man.
some Scorpio shit too.
Yeah, for sure. Marcus will tell you, like, I definitely was about to go to trucking school too. But that's what's up, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, this is Grade School Media.
Yeah.
We out.
Tap in.